Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Fan Forum live on the Toon Review YouTube channel. And co-host and guest tonight is Adam Pearson. Good evening, Adam.
Good evening, Paul. Thank you for having me on. Actually honoured to be co-hosting today with you.
Hi, you're welcome, mate. No problem at all. We have got some guys lined up already, so if you want to come on tonight, obviously the link is in the description. It's pinned in there. Just come into the waiting room and I'll be able to see you after that. Just before we go and bring our guests in, I've received this lovely tweet before we came on air, saying good luck with getting people to tune in tonight as everyone is watching Wraith. Unlucky. This is just the type of thing that me and Adam and the rest of us have to deal with on a daily basis, getting these sort of tweets, which is absolutely pathetic. Trying to make it into some sort of, podcast war or whatever you like to call it. It's absolutely pathetic. But I just thought I'd show you that because this is what kind of stuff that we all have to put up with at the minute, which is pathetic. Adam, I know you've had various threats and you've done a couple of videos and on it. It's just beyond a joke, isn't it?
Well, of course. I mean, I always get these sort of comments when I make controversial stuff. You know, I'm quite a divisive person. You know, I'm always opinionated. So if people are obviously against me, that's fine. But the comments I get sometimes are generally vile. Of course, during the actual situation, so I had about 1,000 comments across all social media sites for last week. It's disgraceful. I've been threatened multiple times. I was threatened again last night. It's beyond unacceptable. And yeah, it's the reason why I do these videos, because not just Steve, the people themselves. There's a lot of people out there that are just very toxic in social media. And if you're someone's wrong or someone's against you, they're always going to have an opinion. And unfortunately, leads to stuff like this.
Yeah, you know what it is. People will watch who they want to watch at the end of the day. I'm not telling anybody who they have to watch and don't watch, but you know, it's their personal choice. But you know, it was a nice little tweet there before we got started, but never mind. First guests in tonight, we have PD Proudlock and we have Chippers. Good evening, guys.
How you doing,
All right.
Right, well, Chippers, you were quite full of yourself last night on the Four Horsemen with your comments, and obviously, you know, you have to keep it clean on the show like this now because Monday nights are Monday nights, and that's now gone. Yeah. What did you think of the game against Spurs, and obviously the upcoming game against Burnley?
Should have won, but I suppose a point's better than a defeat. I just thought his team lineup was completely a resignation or a sack me lineup, really. I thought, what's he playing at? Playing, you know, crap and Shelvey and again. But I think again, it's a 5 kind of worked, but yeah, I don't like it when we play a 5. But if it's going to get results then for the rest of the season, then we've got to stick with it. I know it's shite and negative, but we seemed to play better as a 5 than what we have been doing as a 4. Even though we've conceded 50 goals already this season. I mean, 50 goals is shocking.
Definitely.
You know, it's.
Do you think Shelvey's on his last legs? Do you think Shelvey should be in the team against Burnley?
I don't think he's got any legs left. I think they made a lead. I mean, I can run faster now with 3 stone overweight. I mean, it's nigh on ridiculous how he's getting the game. I don't know if he's shagging Bruce or out with Joelinton. I mean, I know he scored, but how's he getting the game when you've got players like Longstaff sitting on the bench? You've got Richie who can play in that position. You've got Willock who he brought him in on loan for. That's what he's brought him in for, to play him in that position, but he dropped him.
I don't think anybody.
And then he says he said it was squad rotation. Well, they've had 2 weeks off and then trained about 2 or 3 days in that 2 weeks.
I mean, I had to laugh with what he said to Joe Willock. Just go on the pitch, run around, and score a goal. Brilliant tactics. I mean, Adam, what's your thoughts on John Joe Shelvey?
He's shocking. Last season, I actually thought he was come back to form. I thought he had a really good time last season when he was fit. But this season, I mean, he doesn't care, does he? I mean, does John Joe Shelvey really give 100% when he plays? No, he doesn't. You got to play like Joe Willock, right? A youngster from Arsenal. I mean, this is a guy, right? That's like a 6th choice, of course, Arsenal. I mean, he's a different player. He drives with the ball. He actually wants to do something. He came on his instant impact. I mean, Shelvey, I mean, he's honestly, he's not pulling his weight. He's one of the most paid players in terms of wages. And I mean, the fact that he starts is just disgraceful. It's as simple as that. He doesn't give 100%. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Peter, we know your main formation is 4-2-3-1, and it's mine as well. Who would you put in the middle of the park against Burnley?
I'll go Joe Willock and Sean Longstaff.
Yeah. Did Sean Longstaff do enough, do you think, in that game against Tottenham to get a start against Burnley?
I think he did. He did a lot more than what Shelvey did throughout the whole game. I must say, and it's good to see Sean Longstaff get a chance back at that side now. Since the likes of Shelvey, Hedrick, who have been absolutely nothing but pretty much a flop all season. And delighted Sean Longstaff is getting his chance again. I would like to see Matty back in.
Do you want to see? Do you want to see Sean further forward?
I think he does play a lot better there. He has played as a number 10 when we did against Bournemouth last season.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the Bournemouth game. I have to say that was probably his standout game when he did so well. I mean, Adam, would you push Sean Longstaff a bit further forward, or would you keep him, working in the middle?
Really, you need to give centre midfield that space to work with the ball. When you're playing 5 at the back, he's like a defensive positioner. What's he meant to do? Right, he's just going to be stuck there with no position there, no space whatsoever, moving the ball. Playing with number 10, he was much better. I mean, what we had like 22 shots that game. I mean, it's nothing like I've seen all season long from Newcastle. We actually attacked like almost all game long. It was really good to watch. But yeah, sure, Longstaff needs to be further forward. He's a player that has talent. When he is good, he has ability. But unfortunately, in the Blues, he just hasn't really shown like he did on the back Benitez. Yeah,
that's a good point. We've also got Ryan coming in. Good evening, Ryan.
Hey guys.
How's my friend Canuck doing over there? What did you think of the Spurs game?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought we should have won, to be honest. There's times where I think Joelinton could have scored probably a hat-trick maybe. Gale missed a chance as well. I thought Spurs were poor, and like their defense was something that we could have like exploited more for me. I think maybe if we switch from 5 at the back to 4, maybe we could have won as well and be more attacking.
Spurs didn't play well, did the Chippers? I mean, they weren't at the best. It was probably an opportunity to beat them, and it was an opportunity lost, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I say it's 2 points dropped, because they were shite. They were there for the taking, and as Ryan's just said, instead of bringing Mankio on in the last 5 minutes, why not just bring another attacking player on and have a go? We're 2-1 down, so we're going to lose the game. I didn't expect us to come back and score, but at least if we did get beat 2-1 and we didn't draw, we'd say, well, I know points are more than performances, but we could go on the Burnley game saying we put a performance in, even though we might have got beat. We've had a go at them. That's all you can do, and that's all we've asked for, is teams to give 100% and have a go at opposition. And, look what happened. We did, and we got a point that, like I said, should have been more, really.
Bruce has a fetish for subbing out a right back for right back.
Yeah, he does. I totally agree with that.
He's doing what Pardew did. Pardew did left back for left back.
I don't know what the crack is with that, but I mean, obviously, we know Murphy had cramp. So I mean, I didn't know at the time actually, but I found that out later after I'd already hammered Bruce for taking him off. But what the hell? I think Murphy has to start as well. I think Murphy has deserved a place, Peter.
Yes, definitely. I mean, he's done very well. I've been really impressed with the lad this season. I must say, he can certainly get a good cross in the box now. And now's the time to give him that chance for the rest of the season. I think he deserves it. I really, really think he does.
Adam, do you think he's improved since he's come back from his loan?
Oh, of course, he was a player that didn't even get close to our starting lineup, a couple of years ago. But now since he came back, yes, you can argue that our depth in those sort of positions isn't as good, but he's definitely deserved this spot. When he comes on the pitch, he makes an impact. He gets assists, he gets goals when he comes on, and that's what you need for a sort of player like Jacob Murphy. And I'm really glad to see him come back, because of course he's a Newcastle fan. And in terms of Jacob Murphy, I mean, I thought £12 million is an absolute whip of form, but maybe now I might have to change my mind on that one.
Yeah, he's starting to perform. And I just hope he does enough to get a new contract, because I think if we go down, he's going to be massive for us in the Championship. And even if we stay up, the mass exodus that might happen because there's so many players out of contract, it's scary, really. Taylor says, Adam speaks facts. There you go. Paul says, I watch a lot of NUFC channels and I enjoy yours the most, Paul. Keep up the good work. Cheers, Paul. Thanks. Martin says, don't mention that. There you go. And Michael says, hi, lads, great show. Keep the good work. Do you think we should play Murphy right back over Kraft?
Stupid question.
I would play Manquillo right back over Kraft. I don't know what Manquillo's done to be kept getting dropped. I really don't. I mean, he didn't have the best of games against Brighton, fair enough, but, just one of them things. Everyone's allowed an off day, but it seems to be that certain players who have off days then get left out for weeks on end, but it's just one of them things. Peter, before you go, mate, give us a prediction for Burnley.
I'm going to go 2 on Newcastle.
Wow, okay. Who's scoring the goals?
I'm actually going to bag Joelinton to get another one this time.
Jesus Christ.
Bloody hell.
I never thought I'd hear anybody predict Joelinton. I mean, apart from me, because I'm an idiot. But, I've seen a few people now start to predict Joelinton's gonna just take over the Premier League.
I'm going to go for Joe Willock to score again as well.
Yep, fair enough. Right. Right, Peter, thank you very much. Do keep an eye out for Peter's channel, PD Proudlock. He'll have a preview of the game coming up later on this week, no doubt, will you, Pete?
Yep, sure will.
Good stuff. Right, take care, Pete. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Thanks very much.
And Chippers, before you head off into the unknown, because we've got a couple more lined up, what's your prediction for the weekend?
You got to hate to say it, but I'm going to say a draw.
Right.
a 1-1 draw. Because that's the obvious result to me, because it's Burnley, and Burnley don't exactly play the most attractive football that anybody wants to watch. So it's going to be an interesting game to see how Burnley's set up, because I think Sean Dyche is going to be furious with the way they gave a 2-0 lead away last week to lose 3-2 to Southampton. I can see it being like a game of two halves. I can see maybe we having the first half scoring and them having the second half scoring. I can't see us keeping a clean sheet, because every time we have to play, we have to score 2 or 3 goals to win the game, because we can't keep a clean sheet. So I can't see us scoring 2 or 3 goals.
I know. Right. Well, thanks for coming on, Chippers.
Hey, Bosh.
No doubt you'll be a big contributor to the Four Horsemen show next Monday as usual. You'll be making your notes already, you dirty twat.
They're already done.
Aye. You enjoy yourself. Stay safe, buddy. See you later. Next coming in, we have Brian, and we've got. That's it. There's Brian there, and we got Kev from Big Toon Chat. How are you doing, guys?
All right, Paul. How are you doing?
Not too bad.
Good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Brian, we'll start with you. What were your thoughts of the Spurs game?
Oh, we should have won. Really?
Yeah.
2 points dropped. I mean, did Spurs actually do anything in that game? They were absolutely shite. They look like a team where Mourinho's about to get sacked. What happens to his last couple of clubs? They down tools. They weren't really interested, really.
It seemed to me like they were on the beach, but they've still got plenty to play for, haven't they? They're still battling for the Champions League, and I just think Jose, he kind of underestimated us a little bit with his team selection. Kev, did you get a surprise when you saw it?
I did, yes. Obviously, it wasn't the strongest team with Son and Bale on the bench, and the team that we put out even surprises even more, because I struggle to see what formation we were playing, who was playing where. It just didn't really make sense to us. But then going into the game when they kicked off, I mean, we could have been 2-0 down first 10 minutes. But then after 20 minutes, we sort of got going. And then I thought, like everybody else has said already today, I think Spurs were there for the taking. I mean, we should have had 3-4 goals easy. I mean, Joelinton had a chance on 20 minutes and he should have put that away. And I was just absolutely devastated. That was 2-2. Even though I predicted 1-1, I thought half-time, I thought we were going to have our heads down and that was going to be it. The Spurs were going to run away with the game. But I was actually really surprised at the attacking mentality coming out of the second half. And they just got going and deserved the equaliser and easily could have won the game for me.
I mean, Adam, I felt sorry for Joelinton when he scored that first goal, because then, literally 20 seconds later, they go down the other end and score, and it was just sort of depleted. The cameras went back to Joelinton. He was genuinely gutted, wasn't he?
I was typing my exuberant tweet about Joelinton and Kane scoring.
So was I.
Right,
I just finished typing. I just hit send, and then bloody Spurs went up the other end. I mean, did your heart sink at that point, Adam?
Well, yeah, I was on Xbox at the time. I wasn't watching the game because I'll be honest, I'm sick of watching Newcastle at the minute. But I was actually buzzing. I was like, text my mate, and I looked back. It was 1-1. I was like,
we don't have a choice, mate. We're in a relegation battle. We have to watch the games. You know?
I know it's hard. It's hard because
I don't know. Just switch off.
Yeah.
You get a lot of people saying they won't.
Say what you want about Bruce. Say what you want about Ashley. Like, we need to get behind the players. You know.
It's hard. It's really hard. But I mean, when I was I was impressed. Ryan, I don't know what you thought of this, but when we scored and we went behind, it was nice to see that the heads didn't drop this time. They didn't just sort of down tools like they've done in the past when we've gone behind.
Yeah, it's good to see. I found too many times where like the Brighton game especially, where it was just like one goal and it's over almost, and like throw in the towel kind of thing. So it was good to see like we're actually going forward, but at the same time, like I thought Spurs were it was just bad from them. Like I think Joelinton had Sanchez like in his pocket that game. Like it was so easy for him almost. Like he just outstrengthened them all the time. And that's what I'm hoping to see from Joelinton next game, with Burnley being like this kind of like rugby, like old school, like physical team that in the style that they play. So let's hope for more. And let's hope that we can bag some more wins and get further away from Fulham, because their loss against Villa was huge for us. We're in relegation for like the first time for like 60 minutes, I think, or something.
Yeah,
definitely. Ken puts in a comment here. Kane is a great striker, but would he have scored those 2 goals against Man City? I think not. The first goal was a disgrace, and the second one, he had too much time and space. Kev, what do you think of that first goal? I mean, you know, I've spoke about Emil Kraft a million times. Like the direction he was running, he saw Dubravka coming out, but then even when he got to the ball, why not just belt it into the stands? I mean, I don't know what the hell he was trying to do, and it just hits his leg, and Harry Kane says thanks very much. The guy's an absolute disaster.
He is. He's absolutely. He's robbing a wage off our club, to be honest with you. He's an absolute waste of a shirt number. But it was interesting half time when Graham Souness says, if you look at the way that Emil Kraft was running and the way that his foot to like sort of hit the ball, it was like he was trying to pass to another teammate. I mean, why would you even consider doing that? Why would you think about doing that? Why not just belt it into the stands like Paul, you just said? Why not whack it into the Strawberry Pub, for God's sake, anywhere else apart from into the bloody feet of Harry Kane? You know what I mean? Like, it's just absolutely ludicrous. And then the second goal, I mean, the comment there about having too much time and too much space, I mean, I think Paul Dummett just got cold ball watching. Personally, I think
he got sucked right
Harry Kane's just he's absolutely lethal, like on the defensive line, and he's always going to time his run to perfection. I know people are going on about is he offside, this, that, and the other. He was onside. It was a great time run.
And Dembele's given the freedom of St. James's Park as well to pick him out. Like, I mean,
Well, he didn't have to worry about anything because John Joe Shelvey was, you know, I spoke about this on the show last night about his 50-50.
We may as well be playing with 10 players with Shelvey on the pitch.
I mean, we said that about Joelinton. So we're basically playing on the pitch.
We're playing with Shelvey, Hendrick, and Kraft on.
Yeah, it's a disaster. I mean. God Almighty, God knows what was going through Emil Kraft's mind for the first goal. I mean, Dummett, he got sucked across the pitch, and you can't give Harry Kane the freedom like that to just go in and score. Martin says, "John, go bother someone else's channel." It's all right, mate. I've just blocked him. One of Wraith's followers just trying to comment, but he's been blocked. So see you later.
Oh yeah, the shark's bitten, hasn't he?
You should add some moderators to the stream soon enough, Paul.
I know. But the comments come in, and I'm making sure that I read them now, because sometimes I'll just put them up on screen without even thinking. But then again, now I do need to check them. So that
was part of your charm.
One of them
that was part of your charm, though. You just put whatever people wrote came in.
No
matter what it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting pathetic now. I don't know whether you saw my tweet earlier out. I just copied. Adam sent me what he'd said, about defamation of character and stuff like that. And I mean, I had to laugh. Jesus Christ, the stuff that we've seen. The stuff that we've seen. That he's posted out about us. I mean, the guy said he didn't know who I was, yet he's blocked me on Twitter. So that was very strange. And as Adam said, he's got my YouTube link in the top of that tweet. So, very, very strange that considering he doesn't know who I am. but he does now. But I've spoken to him in the past, so he knows exactly who I am. So it just says what kind of bloke he is.
The best thing we can do, lads, is just not give Wraith or any of his calls
exactly
any airtime whatsoever.
Yeah. I've said my piece on him. I've said my piece on it, and I'm happy to move on. And I'm just going to concentrate on this channel and all the other Newcastle channels because he's the odd one out. You know what I mean? Everyone else gets on with each other and has a good laugh together. So that's what it's all about. Paul says, if you could pick 3 players to move on next season, who would you pick? I'd go Hendrick, Kraft, and Shelvey, as no one will buy Joelinton.
I think all of us would be in agreement with those 3 players.
Yeah,
Adam, I'm going to put you on the spot here. How much do you realistically, and be careful how you answer this given what happened to John Sinclair, how much do you think we could possibly get for Joelinton?
I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to kiss anyone's arse here. £10 million, I can't say he's getting more than that for him. He's not good enough.
I think we barely get a Fred. We barely get a Fred over for him at the moment, lads.
But he's got to keep up.
I mean, his value might have gone up a bit from that performance too.
Yeah, he's not a good footballer at all, and I'm not going to be convinced otherwise. He may have a blasting end of the season. He may be fantastic. Kev, how much do you think we'd get for him?
I think we'll definitely make a loss on him. I know that.
Yeah.
But I think we'd even struggle to send him out on loan. To be honest with you, I don't think anybody would take him. I think we're going to have to send him out on loan till he, if we did go down, maybe he'd stay. But I think the only way we'd get rid of Joelinton is send him out on loan for the rest of his contract, and then just see you later. But hey ho, I mean, we're stuck with unless we ask Hoffenheim for money back.
Highly doubt it because I've said many times that the board of directors at Hoffenheim are now on a beach somewhere in Malibu sucking rather large cocktails after making the money on that. Jesus Christ. Matthew says Kraft, Joelinton, Shelvey need to all fuck off out of this club. Not good enough for Premier League level at all. Benno says Richie and Murphy need to play all of the remaining games. I'd agree with that.
100% agree. 100% agree.
Murphy should have been starting since Christmas, I think, for me. Especially when Murphy should have been starting since Christmas, like during the Christmas period, because there's a period where Alan St. Maxim had COVID and Ryan Fraser is injured, and he didn't even play. I don't think.
Yeah, I felt sorry for Murphy because I think he's rescued us a few times this season as well.
Oh, yeah.
He's a real talent,
happen, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
He's a Newcastle fan as well. Like he came off on Sunday because he couldn't run anymore. He was down with cramp. That's what we need.
Steve. Yep, definitely.
Because we don't train enough. That's why.
Oh, I know. We've got 3 days a week, then the rest of the time, just partying on, Stephen and Kobe, I know you're there. I know you're there, Stephen and Kobe, so I'll get you on soon. Ryan says, evening, lads. Paul, I just bought my new red robe for the Rich Show. I take it he's talking about being a cult member there. Ryan, you crack me up sometimes, man. Mark says, hi, Paul. Do you think the players are playing for themselves and not the management? I don't know.
Yes, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, some people will have that opinion. I think, the performance against Tottenham, people are starting to say, well, they're obviously playing for the manager. I didn't exactly see that. And I'm still not seeing a connection between players and managers. Definitely not.
Paul, going to say, I mean, like, what is there about Steve Bruce that make you want to play for him? I think these lads have shown us under previous managers. I won't mention Rafa, but we've seen what these players can do under different management. We've seen how hard they work. These lads will run through brick walls. So I do think there's professional pride. I do think there are lads there who do love the club. So
definitely, yeah. I mean, there is. You can tell the players that love the club. I mean, even Joe Willock. When we've seen so many loan players come and go in the past who just thought didn't give a shit. But when he scored that goal, you saw there was obviously photos of him and the absolute delight on his face to have got that goal. I mean, for me, I'd love to keep Joe Willock, regardless of which division we're in.
He did a Zoom interview. Obviously, it's run by Newcastle, so there's obviously a bit of PR involved. But you can tell, he's been surprised by how much he's enjoyed his time here. And I think with new owners, I mean, I'm not going to go into that, but with new owners and a new coach, I think he would stay.
which is strange given the circumstances of the dressing room he's walked into from Arsenal to Newcastle. It's like, my God. 100% Mag says, have a great show, lads, and hopefully we can get a win against Burnley coming up. How are the lads?
I think most players would want to stay under new ownership, to be honest.
God, yes.
They want to prove a point, too. And, like, I said that before, like, I'd give most of these players second chances under, like, new management.
Yeah. I want to see what Joelinton can do under a decent manager, under a decent coach.
Exactly.
Nagelsmann loves him. Like, Nagelsmann's one of the best coaches in the world, like, and he loves Joelinton. So he must have, and you see times where, there might actually be a footballer there, but I think every ounce of ability, every ounce of confidence has been
gone out Bruce.
Under Bruce. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he does show brief glimpses, doesn't he? I mean, that's
even
the
that
thing.
chance he missed in the second half, like that first touch was brilliant. Like he just instantly killed the ball. Like if he puts that in the corner of the net, we're all raving about what a great goal that is.
Yeah.
You know.
Kev, just did you just put a picture on Twitter earlier?
What of?
Being outside with a face mask on.
Yeah, I was, yeah.
In front of the Dortmund bus.
Yep.
A Bayern Munich mask in front of the Borussia Dortmund bus. Yeah, Jesus. That'll just stir up a bit of shit right there.
Yeah.
Two clubs that hate each other. Yeah. Jesus wept. Tom says, at least under normal circumstances in a relegation battle, being at the match lets you give support and let out frustrations. Watching everything on TV is mentally horrific. I think that's exactly how I put it watching Newcastle this season.
Kev, do you have that Bayern like paint kit on right now? I forget what it's called. Yeah, that one. I've got one too. I've got a Bayern kit as well, but it's with Alonso Davies on it. Best left back in the world.
That's because he's Canadian, Ryan.
Yeah.
No, he is a superb player.
Oh, man, he's insane.
He's unbelievable, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, you never know. He might end up at Newcastle.
Well, he was close to sign for Crystal Palace, actually.
Newcastle, eh?
He was close to sign for Crystal Palace before Bayern, but like he had some visa issues, so he never went there.
Yeah. Damn it! He could have been in Newcastle eventually. Luke says, Ryan, why is there plastic on your walls? Are you getting ready to murder someone? The last time I seen something like that, it was on Snatched. You don't own any pigs, do you?
Well, no. This is like what a normal Canadian basement looks like.
You're in the basement.
Yeah, I don't even know if you like. Is there a basement in like normal UK houses?
No, it's normally called a dungeon.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Like it's all cemented. Like there's yellow stuff because like it's like to make it so it's not as cold, and like it gets to like -20 here.
Jesus.
Insulation.
I see on TV like a bunch of fans wearing toques and scarves, and I look on the weather. It's like 5 degrees. Like for me, that's like nothing as a Canadian almost. Like people will be wearing shorts.
Yeah, that's midsummer sun over there for you. 5 degrees.
Yeah.
Andrew says, I'm in the Wraith cult. Am I still allowed on here? Of course you are, mate. Don't be daft. Martin says, give me a spanner. Okay. Tom says, Andrew, I've stepped away from subscribing to him, but I still watch the odd thing. Unfortunately, he's unleashed some idiots. Best thing for everyone is just to ignore. Same for him too. Exactly what you were saying, Brian. So there you go. Newcastle Fans TV, we love you, Paul. Thank you very much. Really appreciate all the support. Anyway, before you head off, Brian, give me a prediction for Burnley. What formation would you go with?
Prediction. I think it will depend on what happens with the Wolves game or the Fulham game because they play first.
Oh man!
So if they lose, I think Bruce will think we can get away with a draw here. I mean, which is absurd. Like we have to go there and win. As simple as that.
Yeah.
And for formation, I'm kind of on the fence with that because that was actually the first game where Rafa played 5 at the back, and the reason he did it was because they played 2 up top. They play Wood and Barnes, and it worked very, very well. So but under Bruce, I hate 5 in the back. I don't think he has a clue how to manage it properly. And Shar and DeJean are gone, so they were critical to making that formation actually work.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
So I think we need to go there and just go for it. Play Willock, play Murphy, play Wilson. Yeah. He has to play Wilson. If Wilson trains all week, he has to play him. It's as simple as that. Just go there and go for it.
Besides Tottenham and the Liverpool game, like this season, the Tottenham game from second game from last season, those are like the only 2 best performances I've seen with the 5 in the back under Bruce.
Yeah.
But we actually had
Definitely.
energy. We had energy on the team on a Sunday. We were winning the ball high up the pitch.
Well,
we
yeah,
had the player-
We definitely looked fitter, didn't
Oh, yeah.
we? We
that was
looked
the
like we
players
wanted
playing for
more.
themselves too. Like Bruce probably wanted to play for a draw, of course, but the players are like, "Fuck that, we're going for it."
Yeah, they're there to be got at as well.
Yeah.
Burnley are rubbish. Like I don't care what they were a very very bad team. I think Dyche has done miracles there to get a.
Oh yeah,
Like
he's
McNeil is a
glued
good
to
player.
them.
McNeil's a good player. Wood is a good player. They have a couple of all right centre halves. Pope is a good goalkeeper, but I think they're rubbish. I think we're capable of going there and winning.
Well,
I mean, look, they got Europa League just from winning 1-0 a few years ago.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that said it all.
Shit can games that they'd play.
Yeah. Hopefully you're right, Brian. Get yourself on next week. Hopefully after we've got 3 points, be nice.
Fingers crossed. It's do or die. We have to win this game.
It is. It's suddenly become a massive game, hasn't it?
Where else? Where the win's going to come from? Like we might beat Arsenal because Arsenal are pretty good.
Yeah.
And we should beat Sheffield. But otherwise, I don't know where the win's going to come from.
Yeah. It's weird, but thanks for coming on, Brian. Really appreciate it, mate. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next week.
Same to you, Paul. Take care, lads.
Take care, mate.
I'm a bit worried about the Fulham game because I feel like Wolves have been so poor this season for me, and I just feel like Fulham will take advantage of it. Like Cody and Saiss are just not a good partnership, and I think they'll play 4 at the back again. It's only Neto that's like kind of carrying Wolves for me have been Neves.
Yeah, I don't know. Here comes Stephen. Good evening, mate.
Good evening. How are you doing, lads?
Not too bad, not too bad. Right, what's your thoughts on the game at the weekend against Tottenham?
Well, like I said, I've been watching. It's been 2 points dropped after because we were the better team in that match.
Yeah.
You deserved the 3 points. I was quite surprised the way the team played. I mean, even Joelinton scored, so it can't be bad, can it?
Exactly. I mean, were you surprised to see Joelinton on the score sheet?
Yeah, it was actually. I mean, I watched the game on my phone, and the way he just side-footed it in, like he does it for a living. Just calmly slotted in the corner past Lloris, and he didn't even care, didn't even think about it, because Joelinton, he can go through 10 minds at once. But what he should do with the ball with that, he just had the ball played to him and slotted it straight in, and that's what you should do as a striker.
Yeah, exactly. Adam, I mean, when we seen his first shot, obviously he had a shot from the 18-yard box and it straight at the keeper, and that frustrated me because obviously I've seen so many times Joelinton shooting and it goes straight at the keeper. But the confidence he took his goal with, the header back across for the second goal, he got himself much more involved, didn't he? And that's what we want to see from him.
Well, of course, he's our number 9, he's our record signing. You need him to perform in games, and of course, he hasn't done that for the majority of the time. But yeah, I mean, the team just looked better in general. I mean, again, when's the last time Newcastle had over 20 shots in the game? It must be a few years ago. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in a football match for Newcastle. But now, Jordan, he needs to build something off this. He plays against the Burnley match, right? And you do nothing, because I remember Paris. Paris is a similar game. I thought he was really good. He got involved, he got an assist in the goal, and he just disappeared since. I mean, we need to be more consistent, and unfortunately, that's a problem with him.
It's consistency, the thing, and that's what we need to see from him on Saturday. Paul Gibson says Charles Manson was in a cult. I watched NUFC Matters and other shows like this, and have to say it's hilarious. I don't know what's happened with the 3 girls, but I was always a great fan of them. Look, at the end of the day, you watch who you want. I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, watch this channel, don't watch this channel." I'm not like that. I've had me say, and I've had what I wanted to say, and that's the end of it for me. I'm just getting on with my own channel and the people that I actually want to keep in touch with and want to do things with. End of story. 100% Mag says, I like Steve Wraith, to be fair. I know he's not everyone's cup of tea, but the bloke has some great content. As do all of the NUFC creators. We all support the same team at the end of the day. Fair enough. Again, I'm not going to come here and actually say don't watch him. I've never said that. You know what I mean? And what Carl said on the show last night was about him. He enjoys some of his shows. I like the Three Amigos on a Friday night. I used to watch that all the time, and it's all it is my opinion, and I don't like seeing my friends get shot down, and that's why I did the rant yesterday, because I will stick up for friends and family as long as I live, and that's just how I've been brought up. And if he wants to take it another way, that's his fault, quite frankly, and that's just the way he is. But for watching him, then I'm not fussed. I'm not going to stop anybody watching him. Just like the same that he shouldn't stop anybody else watching other people's channels, which has been the case with a few, I'm afraid to say. But that's just the way he is. But if you guys want to watch his shows as well, then I'm not going to say, oh my God, you blocked off this channel. It's just that would just be really childish, and I'm not like that. So you watch who you want on YouTube at the end of the day, and as long as you're still watching me, that's all I'm bothered about.
It's mainly you anyway, Paul. So
you what, mate?
It's mainly you anyway. I watch, and Kev, obviously.
Don't forget, Adam's up there as well. With a decent channel. So let's not forget. Luke said Canadian striker scored against PSG last night for Lille.
Jonathan David. I know of him too, of course. He's from my city. He's from Ottawa, actually.
Is he? All right.
Yeah, he went and he played at Genk last year, and he's playing well for Lille now. And also, there's also a guy from Wolves from Hamilton. His name's Theo Corbianu. He hasn't played in the Premier League yet, but I'm trying to get Wolves fans again to give me an opinion of what he's like, because they're not telling me anything so far. But Canada, I don't know about the future, but there's some decent players coming up, especially David and Davey.
Expect you to win the World Cup in the next 20 years?
No chance, man. this whole nation's just full of it's just hockey dominated.
Well, it's not a bad sport, is it? To be fair. That's one sport where you can take your anger out on someone and not get put in prison for it.
Just fight someone and then everyone will watch.
Yeah, I was never like that. I was a good lad on the ice.
Paul, you must be Zdeno Chara. Built almost.
Yeah, quite tall as well. Yeah. Andrew says, anyway, Tom Clancy's Without Remorse starts soon on Amazon. Looks class. Just on a side note, so Andrew's bigging up that new show. So I quite liked his books actually. So I might watch that. Definitely a must-win game. Adam, if we lose this game on Saturday, right? Let's just hypothetically say that Fulham do win, and we slip into the bottom three. Will that knock the players' confidence before we go out against Burnley?
Yeah, well, the players will see the Fulham they'll be scared because it'll be in the relegation zone. The pressure on the team that's in the relegation zone, in my opinion. And unfortunately, if we do obviously lose against Burnley and Fulham win, then it's going to knock the confidence completely because we've still got a lot of hard fixtures left. And of course, at this time, when the players are deep in hard, we need to begin getting some points from somewhere because, again, even though we're not the bottom three, we've won 2 of the last 21 games. That is unacceptable. That is a relegation for home. And we need to get something going because otherwise it's going to be a very clear last couple of games for sure.
Spot on. Kev, before you head off, mate, what do you think the score's going to be? Give us a prediction, and what formation would you like to see?
Personally, apart from Kraft and Shelvey, I'd play Willock instead of Shelvey, and I'd put Manpio in instead of Kraft. And then I'd keep the same formation, and hopefully I'd like to make a prediction of 3-1 to Newcastle. Given the mentality and the attacking sort of pressure that we put on Spurs, I think we can go there with the same confidence, the same attacking ability, and just have a real good go. Like, prove to the fans that you actually want to stay in the Premier League. Put up the same performance like you did against Spurs. High up the pitch like Richie and Longstaff did for Joelinton's first goal. You've got nothing. Yeah. Well, got relegation, but that's not the point. But just go and give it a good go. Prove to her that you want to stay in the Premier League. That's all we are asking. 3-1.
What gives you the belief, right? What gives you the belief that we are going to go out there and play the same way? Because we haven't exactly been consistent all season, have we? So don't get us wrong. I'm confident as well because I agree with what Brian said before. Burnley aren't a good side, and I think if we can get at them, we have to get at them and not let them get at us because they play a rough and tumble game. We know how they work. And if we get sucked into that kind of game, then we will lose because we're not that type of side. But if we can sort of play like we did against Everton, so to speak. Just play like that. We've got a real chance. But do you think we've got a manager who can be consistent enough to put a team out twice with the same sort of tactics and actually win the game?
I don't think we've got the manager to do that, no, but I think going off what was said before about the players each like playing for themselves rather than the manager, I think if he sticks with the same team, because I think playing ASM and Wilson, I think they're not match fit. Why take a gamble on them? Put them on at halftime if the game's going our way. Give them some minutes, but don't put them on from the start, because you're just taking a huge gamble on the rest of their season, basically. But I just think the same lineup. I mean, he's got to. Steve Bruce has got to think that he's got to start taking chances now. He's got to start taking risks because the games are running out rapidly.
Yeah, definitely. Right, Kev, thanks for coming on, mate. I'm going to get in touch with you on Twitter anyway about coming on the show with me. So later on in the week. So if you just keep an eye out for me message, mate, will you?
I'll have to unblock you first, mind.
You cheeky twat.
I'm joking.
I hope the Dortmund players find your house.
Thanks, Paul.
Stay safe.
See you later. Bye.
See you later. So that was a very, very cheeky little end to that. Kobe, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
Good, you?
Yeah, well, yeah. It's been a bit of an eventful 7 days, to say the least.
Yeah.
What did you think of the Spurs game?
Well, honestly, I thought we did actually well. I thought going forward, right tactic, thought we were really well going forward. We could have got a good few goals, but it's like, if Wilson there, yes, we would have got a few goals, but it's about for every game, if he had a chance, Wilson will score it. Defensively, I thought we're always going to be bad defensively. You could be compact, but against Spurs, and I thought the midfielder Tongan and Dombele, I thought he was very good. He ran through but mainly a midfield. But I thought Kraft mainly, and Dummy obviously played Kane on the side. I thought them two weren't that well, but you remember Kraft. I know Kraft was that mistake he did. Kraft is a right back and Dummy is a left back. It's going to put in consideration if we had Fernandes and Clark there. I think I would play, or if Cher gets back, then I would play them in the back three. And I guess Harry Kane, you just can't give him any room at all. But I thought probably our best performance still since Everton, I would say.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Matthews, I really don't understand, where he thinks of these things from. Adam, I mean, we've talked about the way Burnley play football. When they can go big up and under sometimes, and they can play a little bit of the rough stuff. They like to get stuck in. And it's a case of how Sean Dyche rallies the troops up, doesn't it? After they fell apart against Southampton. Saying they fell apart, I mean, Fraser Forster made some fantastic saves in that game. Because if he didn't, it would have been quite a big win for Burnley. But I just think he'll send them out with a bit of a point to prove, which, it's a potential banana skin for us when they do that.
I don't know, it's a tough one to tell with Burnley because they're not going to get relegated this season. So, what they've got to play for, there's no reason to continue playing well because there's nothing to go for. They're going to stay up. It's not a concern for Burnley. I don't know, they're quite a tricky team because, when they're good, they're a very hard team to break down. But when they're playing bad, you score 3-4 past them. They really are an inconsistent team. That just shows the lack of money to spend in the players. But for me, though, if you play Wilson to maximum, it'll be an easy win. It should be an easy win. But again, I said that against Brighton and we got beat 3-0 twice against them. So that could be wrong again. But I believe it could be an easy win.
Cool. I've just realised I've got a green water bottle. So every time I go to take a drink, it's like I'm just drinking liquid. Look at that. I just realised when I took a drink before, I'm drinking the invisible black currant here. We've got another one coming on. Luke, good evening, mate.
Evening, Paul. How are you?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
I'm fine.
So give us your thoughts on the game against Spurs. And was it, as a lot of people have said, was it 2 points dropped or a point gained?
Yeah, I think we should have won.
Yeah.
But, a point's better than nothing, really. So.
Yeah. What did you think of Joelinton's performance?
What happened to him? He actually played really well.
Yeah, he did.
We were taking the neck out of David last week for putting him in his starting 11. He went in and he performed really well. So
Yeah, a lot of Joelinton fans did crawl out the woodwork. I saw, and giving the people a lot of hammer that had sort of criticised him. I mean, I want to see him be more consistent, Ryan, and I think that's going to be the big thing, isn't it? It's consistency. If he plays like that for the rest of the season, maybe some of the fans will start warming to him, and you never know.
Yeah, for me, I feel like we have to use Joelinton either as kind of like some left winger / second striker almost. And I feel like if we give the ball to him and there's someone around him, then like you could pass it off and make space, and like we could kind of go on the attack through there, because I feel like he's quite decent at it. I just think he needs to do it more. There's been a few times where like he's been outstrengthed a bit by these center backs, but we know like Joelinton's like 6'2", like he should be able to handle the physicality of the league. And I hope he just starts contributing more, because at the end of the day, like we all sometimes like we all hate on the players sometimes, but I feel like we want everyone here to do well, and that's what I gotta say about it. Yeah, and I just hope he continues on from it.
Yeah, Chippers is just saying there, didn't Shelvey get his 5th yellow card on Sunday? So does that mean he's banned? I haven't heard. I'm not sure if he is or he isn't.
I think I did say he was. When he got a yellow card, he said that was his 5th, so that automatically means he gets a ban, doesn't it?
Yeah, you do know who he's going to put in instead of Shelvey.
Yeah, he got yellow card. Yeah.
Jeff Hendrick returns to Turf Moor.
Yes, 100%. You just know it's going to happen, don't you? If Shelvey is suspended, which obviously he is, if that's his 5th card, then, Steve Bruce, for sentimental value alone, will put Jeff Hendrick in against Burnley. You can just see it now.
Shelvey won't be suspended because you get 5 yellow cards from September. But I think it stops from like January, end of December, somewhere like that. And you get 5 yellow cards from like September this year. September till like January. In fact, you miss a game, but on from January till April or to the end of the season. So it splits up in 50% of the league from 18 games.
Right.
So we'd be fine.
So he should be fine to play.
He's got 5 yellow cards in September. Right.
Okay. Well, we'll see. He still might drop somebody for Jeff Hendrick, with him returning to Turf Moor. You just see the headlines now. Sentimental return for Jesus Christ. Paul says we should all stick together. We're Toon fans at the end of the day. I agree with that, but other people don't share that. Ken says we're always on about Bruce getting the team selection wrong, but I think Jose got it wrong big style, but with him simply being arrogant. Stephen, he got it wrong.
Oh yeah, I think he was surprised by the way Newcastle played. I think he's probably expecting to be like a 5-4-1 formation, not like the formation we played, like a 5-3-2 formation. I think that kind of outfoxed him in a way. Yeah, I would give Steve Bruce credit because I don't like the man. But
sorry, did you just say you're giving Steve Bruce credit there?
I said I don't want to give Steve Bruce credit. I said I hate the man.
But you're going to anyway.
I'm not gonna. So don't worry. But I just think the formation outfoxed Jose, and Jose set up wrong. I mean, with the subs he had on the bench with Son.
Yeah.
He's a danger. He's Lamella. You're all a danger, but I think it was probably the best formation to play, but I wouldn't have been too happy if he was playing 5-4-1 with a lonely up front like a Joelinton, because he would have offered nothing.
Yeah.
But when Gale was up there with Joelinton, they like fed off each other, if you know what I mean. It's like 2 up top and you can fade off each other, just putting the ball up and somebody will hold the ball up. So I think it outfoxed Jose with the formation that Bruce chose.
Yeah. Matthew says you look to be getting the meat sweats, Paul. Have you just had your lamb tikka masala? No, and I've just had I've shaved the old buns today, so I think that the lights in here are reflecting off my bloody bald head. So
sounds like John.
Yeah, but under these lights in the studio setup I've got, it's like 120 degrees sitting here, so it doesn't get. I'm gonna have to try and find some kind of silent fan, I think, in the summer, because I'm just gonna melt away in here.
It's the opposite for me in my basement. It's like a ice bath almost.
Yeah, it's probably like a fridge in there. Let's have a look. Tom, this is for you, Ryan. Do you think hosting the World Cup in 2026 will be a big boost to football's popularity in Canada?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. I feel like I don't really like to see it. Well, it's good to see, but at the same time, like you get a bunch of like kind of like bandwagon fans that just like hop along and they act like they know like these stars when really they don't. So, but I think for North America, just not just Canada, but I think North America in general, it'd be pretty decent. And hopefully by then, like we actually have a good team to compete with.
I think Evans lost the plot. To be honest, Kraft hasn't been all bad, apart from the Spurs game. Just a shame about Manquillo's injury, obviously. I think I'm trying to work out whether Evans been sarcastic there, to be honest, because he hasn't been good at all. I've never seen Emil Kraft play a decent game yet.
I think maybe against West Ham at home last season, maybe I think.
No, I'm not having it. Not having it.
Just that one game though, out of however many he's played.
What did you say, Adam? I think Adam's connection's gone a bit weird.
Oh, I just said 50 games ago. I'm gonna die. My phone's about to go off. Paul is alive. I like do my little outro, I guess, before I head off.
Yeah, of course it is, mate. No problem at all. Thanks for coming on tonight, mate. I really appreciate it. Take care.
So I appreciate it. 4-1 Newcastle go for the mad one the weekends. I think
Bloody hell. Christ
video.
almighty. Nice one.
Take care, lads. Obviously, cheers for having us on. And how are the mics? Let's get put in there.
Cheers, buddy. So that was Adam there, and he was only coming on for just under an hour tonight because obviously got to film on his phone, and sometimes it's very difficult to keep a connection. I'm trying to see. Oh, I can see Archer's face in the background, which is it terrifies me every time I see that. We got David coming on. David, good evening.
Sorry, I'm a bit late. I had the police at my door.
Oh God.
With the death threats that I received.
All right. Okay. Fair enough.
From a member of his cult member.
Right. Well, as long as that gets sorted.
Because I watch a different channel.
Yeah.
That channel is your channel. I got death threats.
Hey God, honestly, man, it's getting pathetic. It really is getting pathetic. Anyway, on to football matters. What did you think of the game on Sunday, David?
Yeah, I was pleased with the result and pleased with Joelinton when he scored. After I'd put him in my side.
Did you have your Joelinton shirt on?
Yep.
Aha! That's what it'll have done it. The Joelinton shirt. Luke, what did you? There's sort of a debate about John Joe Shelvey at the minute. What do you think? Is he done? Would you keep him in the side?
Yeah, he's done. I commented on your fan reaction saying like I used to idolize Shelvey. Like I'm 18, so I'm young, and I used to absolutely idolize him. I thought he was a brilliant player when he came in, and he's brilliant in the Championship. And then when we came back up again, he was brilliant. But no, I go shit myself when he takes a corner or a shot. You don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah, I mean, his set pieces have dramatically dropped. I mean, he did put that in one decent ball, which was for Dwight Gale, which Lloris made a brilliant save. I still think Dwight Gale should have smashed that rebound in the back of the net, to be fair. It didn't happen, but never mind. Beat says there about Gale proved why he's not the required standard of Premier League player. Missing from 4 yards out proves this. But then again, Joelinton's missed from 4 yards out from a lot of the time this season. Tom says, I completely ignored the player Matthew mentioned. Now my mouse has died and I can't get to the comments. There we go. Trainson says, we will need a bit of height at the back, so I'd put Fernandez in for Kraft. Burnley are dangerous from set pieces, so defend properly and hit them with pace in attack. We must be up for the fight, mind. Kobe, do you believe that Fernandez should come in for Kraft?
Yeah, I think he should. It's either Fernandez or Clark, because Kraft plays on. If we play forward back or 3-5-2, whatever, the right centre back, I think we have to Clark or the left centre back or central because he's left-footed. So I would definitely play Fernandez. You got the height difference, and you can tell him in a corner. We scored a few goals from corner this year with Lascelles and a few last year too. And I think with that added person from the centre half. And I think before he got injured, I thought he puts some fantastic balls. Even when he gets forward, it's really good cross to the ball too. So you can help us going forward with an aerial threat. And defending like Chris Wood, Ashley Barnes, Jay Rodriguez, they've got a tall team, and you're going to get whipping cross with Dwight McNeil. You need to defend them. Yeah,
very true. Stephen, did Richie's leadership make the difference against Spurs?
Yes, 100%. You're saying back in the team, he's like he never left it. Just his passion, his drive, his heart to even to help the team. I think the players have missed his passion when he's been in that starting line. You know what you get with Matt Ritchie, he puts his heart on his sleeve for that team. I mean, when Joelinton missed that chance in the second half where he should have scored, he's there clapping the players, said, come on, let's keep going. And I seen a video on Twitter after the game where he's trying to head every ball, he's jumping up and down, he's heading every ball in. That's how crazy Richie is, but I love him. I think all Newcastle fans just love Matt Ritchie just for his passion he brings. I think he should stay in that team for the rest of the season for me, just for what he brings to the team.
Yeah. I mean, Matt Ritchie makes me laugh when other players make mistakes. He's either bigging them up or he's bollocking them, and when he makes a mistake, he's punching himself. He's just so passionate. He really is, and it's good to watch because we know that he's a passionate player and he wants Newcastle to do well. Keep up the good work, guys. Keep at it. Cheers, Chris. Trenson said, we will also need more pace in midfield, so Shelvey out for Willock is important. We know Shelvey isn't the roll with sleeves up and fight type of player, and against Burnley, we need work rate. We definitely need work rate. David, are we going to get that work rate from midfield if Shelvey's in the team?
No. He doesn't inspire me. He used to, but he's went down the pan, down the rankings for me.
I mean, surely Longstaff and Willock is the obvious choice for me on Saturday. But the question is Steve Bruce going to play that way, Ryan?
I've also sent you a message on Twitter, a new thing on Twitter.
Okay, mate, no problem.
Say that question again, Paul.
Just about is Willock and Longstaff the way to go in midfield?
Oh yeah, 100% for me. I think fresh legs is the best thing, like in the Premier League nowadays. I find, and those two, like I think especially Sean Longstaff, he had that one game under him. He should hopefully be back to full fitness, and he will get there soon enough and be match sharp by the more games he plays. I think Joe Willock is exactly what we need, like box to box almost. Like I swear Jeff Hendricks not even close to that, and Joe Willock he's been here since January. He's equaled the amount of goals he scored. And I think Joe Willock is just that like drive that we need in midfield all the time, and he'll link up from defense to attack, and he'll pitch in with a few goals, and one against Spurs, which you could tell he loved a lot as an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, definitely. Chip is saying there, we all know Sean Longstaff will be dropped for Jesus returning to Turf Moor.
That's what I said, yeah.
I know it's a critical thing. Speaking of Jesus, good evening, Archer.
Oh, no.
What is that on your face? Archer, what is that on your face?
It's got a trucker stash. It looks like an American truck driver.
It looks like bloody Harley Davidson handlebars, man. Oh my God. It's like, how are you going to appear next? You know what I mean? It's like, what will Archer look like this week? You look like something out of Pornhub.
You look a bit like Paul Hogan.
Dear me, Archer, honestly. You look like you're just about to say, "Can I fix your washing machine, darling?" Oh my God! Honestly, I can't even say you look like Jeff Hendrick anymore. You've grown literally a forest on your tash. Wow. Anyway, if anybody wants to comment who Archer looks like this week, you're very welcome. But Jesus, it's great.
I don't mind that.
Is that Steve Bruce's pubic hair glued on your face?
Right, that's just great. Anyway, Archer, how do you think the Burnley game's going to go? What are we going to actually get 3 points this weekend?
We've got to get 3 points against Burnley. After getting the result at against Tottenham, I reckon we need to get 3 points against Burnley.
Yeah.
And after that, we've got, I believe it's West Ham and Liverpool. I can't see us getting anything. I can't see us getting anything out of West Ham and Liverpool.
I don't know where these people are coming from saying that they're looking at West Ham as a victory, because, to be honest, they're playing really, really well. And obviously, Ryan just said there, he's Moyes manager of the season. He's not going to be far away, is he? I mean, we all know that the Premier League will give it to Guardiola again, because, they just kiss his arse anyway. But certainly, I think, the job Moyes has done at West Ham, he definitely deserves to be in the reckoning. I mean, what do you think about that, Luke? Do you think, maybe Moyes is the man to get manager of the year this year?
No, I agree with what you said there. Look up at the Pep, but Moyes has changed the West Ham squad when he came back in again. He changed them. He's actually what he used to be.
I mean, I think he's doing what he did for Everton at West Ham. I really do. I think he's took that on, and he's seen it as an opportunity to maybe do what everybody else is doing. It sort of he's using it as an experiment that I didn't think he'd get the time to do, to be honest, but he actually is. He's getting the time. He's getting the backing from the board this year, and he's changed it around. A lot of fans, we're wanting them out, but hey ho. Train Son, one other thing, we are terrible at getting caught on the counter from our own corners. It has happened many times this season, and it happened again Sunday when Kane hit the post from our own corner. Yes, he did. Stephen, I mean, that could have been game over, couldn't it, if Harry Kane didn't hit the post?
Yeah, I mean, like you say, it was our corner, the way he broke on us. And you would think, and Lamella was going to square it to Son. He should have squared it to Son pretty much when he got near the edge of the penalty area. Then that's game over for me.
Yeah.
But he kept holding the ball a second too long, and he squared it to Kane. Yet Manquillo was back trying to cover Kane, and Kane just swiveled and hit the post.
Yeah.
I thought we might still have a chance here, and luckily enough, we did, because I don't think we give up. That second half, we pushed up the field a lot more to try and get a goal, an equaliser. And that's the risk you take when you're trying to go on attack. You've got to get caught in the counter, and I think that's what it was. And I think if Lamella had made the right choice and squared it to Son, it was 3-1 anyway, and that was game over, just because he made the wrong mistake, squaring to Kane.
Mm-hmm.
And Manquillo was back covering anyway, so it was good for us in that sense.
Archer, you're getting absolutely mullered in the comments for your tash. Yeah, Ryan says porn star Archer. Paul Gibson says Bronson. Chippers is also coming with Archer wants to join the village people. Adam says, haha, that's class, that mustache. God almighty. Train Son says Wraith's going to be foaming seeing Charlie Bronson desert his channel. Oh my God. Ryan says Archer straight from a Western porno jumps off horse to beast. Rice is out for our game. Definitely good for us. So Declan Rice is apparently out for the West Ham when they come to play us. So yeah, that's a bonus to us, definitely. Anyway, Luke, thank you very much for coming on, matey. Get yourself on next week, won't you? Hopefully we've got 3 points in the bag. But take care, mate. Stay safe, and I'll hopefully see you next week. Cheers, buddy.
Yeah, see you next week. Thank you.
Kobe, before you head off, what do you think of the weekend? Are we going to win? Are we going to get 3 points? And what formation would you go for?
I think we will. I think we'll draw. I think we'll get 1-1. Hopefully, I want to win, but I think we'll get a 1. I think Burnley might get a quick goal. I think we'll play.
Yeah.
I think we'll go for the same formation, but I'm thinking of the same formation and think about Fraser if he's back, obviously. how would you get him in? I'll probably keep the same team, but I'll probably put Fernandes de Graaf, and I'll probably put Wilson for Gale, and it looks like Gale will play in the left winger, so play him as a striker, maybe Joelinton on the left or the right, and then I'll still keep with Mickey, and then Alan come on as a sub, because I think he's got change of formation to get him in the team, and if you bring him on, that's a massive impact sub, massive.
Yeah, definitely. Right, well, thanks for coming on, Kobe. Make sure you get yourself on next week, buddy, and hopefully we'll be talking about 3 points.
Hopefully, yeah.
Stay safe, mate. Take care.
Bye.
Just going through some more comments. Paul says, can we take this season seriously, though, without the fans? Look at all the freak results like West Brom the other day and Villa smashing Liverpool 7-2. It is one of them strange seasons. There's no doubt about that. Situation on Matty Longstaff, we don't know. He's just been told by Steve Bruce that he's in the under-23s and he has to prove himself. I don't really know how much more the lad's got to do, but apparently he's not in his reckoning for the first 11. Ken says Archer looks like a Mexican bandit of a fistful of dollars.
They keep on calling Red Dead Redemption. Go to Mexico, you might know.
Chipper says, young man, there's no need to feel down. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Can I just ask Chippers? Can I just ask Archer? Just why?
I just thought I'd do it, just for the laugh.
Fair enough.
You should get a poncho as well and a mariachi hat.
It runs under his chin.
I know. I'd honestly, if you'd come on with a Mexican hat on, that would have just topped it off. Like, seriously, just topped it off. Brilliant. John says, glad the Villa did you a favour by beating Fulham. Still mildly embarrassed about the sub on the Tyne banner. Let's hope you will be laughing at the end of the season. Cheers, John. A lot of Villa fans have said that to me, actually. They were a bit disappointed with that sub on the Tyne flag. It didn't come from a lot of Villa fans. It just came from a select few. Martin says, hi, David. How's your channel coming on? Oh, my God. And Bede says, Ron Burgundy for Archer.
My channel's coming on.
And Chipper says, Archer, do you have Twitter?
No, I do not.
Right, there you go, Chippers. He doesn't. Anyway, what are you asking him for? You'll see him in the tent outside on Summers later on. Ryan says Bruce said Matty I was not in shape and had a bad attitude basically ages ago in an interview. I don't believe a word that Steve Bruce says, especially about the Longstaffs. Paul says, is it Monday night again with 70s porn star Archer on? You're getting hammered, buddy. Right. We've run over a little bit tonight, but Ryan, give me your formation, what you think will do the job, and give me a score for Burnley.
Again, I'd go 4-2-3-1. I'd put Manquillo. I'd put I think Clark, Lascelles. I'd put Richie at left back actually, just because midfield, Willock and Longstaff. And then the front four, I'd put Joelinton, Almiron, Jacob Murphy. And I'm going to say Dwight Gale just because I feel like Callum Wilson, it'll be too early for him to come.
Well, I think you'll find that Steve Bruce will throw Callum Wilson in on Monday. You just know he's going to do that. As soon as Callum Wilson has a brief opportunity to play, and he'll play him simply because of the situation.
Like if Steve Bruce thinks about it and like wants to like use that sub early, then maybe for like half an hour till halfway to the halftime, maybe change it up. Because I think it's like that saying of if you're on the bench, you're fit enough to start almost.
Yep. I guess we'll see. We'll have to see what happens. But anyway, thanks for coming on, Ryan. Take care, mate. And we'll see you next week, hopefully with 3 points in the bag. But stay safe out there, buddy.
Yeah, you too. Thanks. Take care, guys.
So, David, Saturday, Burnley, Turf Moor. Give me a score.
3-1 Newcastle.
And who's going to score the goals?
Joelinton will 1.
By God, I've never heard so many people predicting for Joelinton to score in my life.
I want to say Murphy, so I think Murphy will score 1.
Okay.
And Mickey.
And Miggy as well. Okay. Well, we'll have everybody's predicting a Newcastle win. Right, thanks for coming on, David. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next week, buddy.
Yeah, I'll be back on next week.
Cheers, mate. Ta-da. Archer.
Hello.
Oh, I don't know what to call you, actually. If you actually are Archer under that tash, I don't know. Martin says, good crack as per usual, Paul. I give you a little plug on Newcastle Fans TV banter page. Let's see if it helps you get to 2,000 subs. Thanks very much, matey. Very, very close. About 15 away, I think. Me subs went up and then they've gone back down again. I think that's something to do with all the crap going on in the background, but I'm done with all that now anyway. So Archer, give us a scoreline for Saturday, buddy, and goal scorers.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Newcastle. I'm gonna go with Dwight Gale, and let's go with Joe Willock.
Right, cool. Oh God, what's this from Ryan? I think Joelinton is hanging off Archer's porn stash. Jesus Christ. Evan says, don't understand why Murphy isn't being played more. Nobody does, mate, but it's the way it is. And Ken says, has Archer been to El Paso? And Adam says, B2K by Monday's show. Right, Archer, cheers for coming on, mate. Keep safe out there, although nobody's going to attack you with a tash like that, mate. I think you've got some kind of machine gun down your pants with a tash like that.
Before I go, Paul, I reckon from now till end of the season, I think Newcastle will probably finish with 36 points at least.
36, yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go for a win at Burnley, win at Sheffield, and a draw at Fulham. The rest of the games we've got, I think we'll get beat.
Cool. Right. Well, hopefully we'll stay up. You never know. But get yourself back on next week, Archer, because I'm dying to see what you look like next week.
All right.
Take care, mate.
Catch you later, Paul.
Ta-da. So that was Archer there. We've got one more guest who I'll run the program for 5 more minutes because he's late coming on. Annie, good evening.
Good evening, Paul. Good evening.
Have you just finished your show?
Yes, just.
Yeah, cool. If anyone hasn't seen it, he did a show with John tonight. So if you want to go and watch the rerun of that, if you've been watching this one, so right. We'll not discuss much about Bristol City because they're in a worse state than Newcastle right now after losing to Coventry. Of all the teams to lose to, but how do you think the Premier League situation is looking for Newcastle now?
Before you said I will, nobody will attack me and come and hunt me down. I did say a draw, and I was kind of right. I was kind of right in one way, but pretty fortunate there. But Newcastle, it was a good performance. But I think if Tottenham they were at it a bit more, I think you would have gotten ripped apart because you said it. The 2 centre backs were not at it at all. And if Harry Kane and Son had a bit more of a link up in that game, I think you would have gotten ripped apart there.
Well, I think when Harry Kane actually, when they broke out just before we got the equaliser, when Lamela burst away with the ball, he should have just played it straight into Son because he was away, and we wouldn't have caught him. He was clean away on goal, and he held onto it too long, and eventually it bounced back to Lamela, and obviously played Kane in, and then we went up the other end and scored. I think that had they scored there, Stephen, it was game, set, and match. It was over.
Yeah, it was. I mean, when I said I watched the game, when I said them coming forward, I said, which is going to be game over, I think. I was saying, so why is he not squared to Son? He just run straight Lamela. If he just saying Son was straight in front of him, you just played the ball straight in front of him, that's 3-1. Game over. But he tried to be cute with it, and then Newcastle players his back, and then he squirms his way up the cane, and it's unfortunate for him he hit the post. I thought that was a good shot. Dubravka would just stood there. I mean, Dubravka wouldn't even have caught that.
He doesn't normally miss from there, does he? He normally smashes the net, but I thought he might have gone across the keeper into the other post, but I guess the angle he was at, he could only really try, but it was scary stuff. But, I mean, do you think we have enough, and you're looking at, you know, from obviously a neutral's point of view, when you look at Newcastle now and you've seen a kind of different performance against Tottenham, you know, when they went behind, but they didn't dip the heads this time. They kept the heads up and they battled hard to get the result. I mean, yes, I agree with you. I think if Tottenham had put out a decent side and played the normal game, I think, you know, it would have been very difficult for us. But, you know, we've got to give Newcastle credit as well, because they kept going, and that's something we haven't seen from Newcastle.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's happened in that dressing room after Brighton, but it's changed. It changed a lot. Comparing that to performances. Yeah. I think Fulham, they just need a bit more. They just need a few more games to get back into after the international break, because few players were away and they were not training quite a lot. But if Fulham do get a few more results, I think Fulham have got Burnley as well in their next few games. And then obviously, I think, and then the last two games as well, the last game of the season as well. Just if Fulham can stay within 2 points of Newcastle, it's just going to be absolutely.
It's going down the wire, isn't it? It's you know, it's Newcastle. It is going down the wires. Train Son says, "Play up Sky Blues." Sorry, Annie, but you know, you have to take some flack on here, my man. Unfortunately. How do you think the game at Burnley's going to go in here just before we finish the show? How you know, obviously you looking from afar, you know, you've seen Burnley play this season. Personally, I don't think Burnley are a great footballing side, but what they're lacking the ability to put in an effort, and Sean Dyche will certainly want them to be at 120% on Sunday after the really debacle against Southampton.
I think this is an important game for Newcastle as it is for Burnley, because if Burnley win this game, I think they will be safe. So they will pretty much guarantee safety. Not mathematically, but psychologically, I think there'll be huge pressure off them, especially after that performance at Southampton. Sorry, it's if Newcastle win this game, I can't see them get sucked back into it, because Fulham, they can't really win football matches at this moment in time, but they could. They've easily got the potential to win 3 on the bounce. They just, I worry if they lose. If Newcastle lose, I worry that they won't get any more points except for Sheffield United. But it's a huge psychological, mental game for both teams, because
I think
Sean Dyche
go on.
Sean Dyche will definitely make them motivated to definitely go out there and win, because he knows that he can exploit the back line, especially with the two up top, physical centre backs, so strikers for Burnley. And they're just an engine going forward and defensively, and Newcastle will have to work very, very hard if they want to beat Burnley.
Definitely. Right, we'll get your predictions before we should close the show. Go on then, Annie, give us a prediction for Newcastle United against Burnley.
I'll say
and remember whose channel you're on.
Burnley 1, Newcastle 1.
Another draw.
No.
Another bloody point. I can't take all these draws, man. We need 3 points.
And Fulham to win against Wolves.
Oh, that's just evil. That's just evil.
End the stream. Knock him off the stream.
That's just evil. Actually, you know what it is? I think Fulham have the slightly easier run. It's the running that bugs me. But Annie, thanks for coming on, mate. Try and get yourself, I know you do the show with John, but if you can get on a bit earlier next week, I'd appreciate that. Get longer on, because you're very popular. So people like hearing what you've got to say. So get yourself on next week, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Take care, mate. Stay safe down there. So, Stephen, you're the one that's left with the final say on the on the predictions, mate. So go on and let's hear it.
Well, I'm gonna go for another win, like everybody else has been saying. I'm not going for no poxy draws. Right. I'm going to say a 2-1 Newcastle win.
And who's going to bag the goals?
Oh, I would say Joelinton.
Yeah.
Because he's confident he'll be up. I reckon he'll be up for it. And I reckon Mickey will score as well.
Right. Well, you know what? Everybody seems to be going for a win, which is very much different to what we're used to as Newcastle fans this season, without a shadow of a doubt. But thanks for coming on, mate. I'll be in touch about the microphone on Twitter. I'll get all that sorted and get you address and that, and we'll get it sent out. All right. So I'll speak to you soon, mate.
All right. Thanks. See ya. You too.
So there you go. That was Fan Forum for another week. And, well, it seems like everybody's now very, very confident that Newcastle United can get a win at Burnley. It's nice to see, to be honest, a bit of positivity around the club for once. You know, it's going to be a difficult game, but I think if we can get into Burnley, you know, and play like we did against Tottenham, like we did against Everton, with a bit of belief and a bit of a better attitude, I think we can maybe get something this week. It's vital that we do, given the games that we've got coming up against some of the better sides in the Premier League. I include West Ham in that. You know, they're fighting for Europe as well, so they're not just going to come to St James's Park and lie down. You know, that will be a tough game. They've got some very good players. Moyes has got them playing very well. 3-1 to Newcastle. So yeah, I'd go for that as well. We can only hope and pray, guys. But that's the end of the show for tonight. Thank you everybody who's taken part in it again. I'm really enough of these. You know, these podcast fighting. You know, I've said my piece. I'm going to concentrate on the football now. Concentrate on the channel and everybody else's channels. You know, going on other channels and them coming onto mine and things like that. I just want it back to normal again. And you know, what'll be will be. I've got tomorrow night's show, Wednesday Night Live with Sav. Really looking forward to that. Big plans for that show as well. But tomorrow we'll be getting your feedback and seeing what you want on the show, as well as talking about the Tottenham game, the Burnley game, which is now massive. Press conference live should be done on Friday night, I believe. So stay tuned for that. Just keep an eye on Twitter for the coming up shows. I will be doing a recorded preview for the game as well. So keep an eye on Twitter for that, and I'll put the link on there. But thank you very much, everybody, for coming on the show tonight. Really do appreciate it. And we'll do Fan Forum again next weekend or next Tuesday, which hopefully will be a very positive one after getting 3 points at Burnley. But in the meantime, guys, stay safe out there. Take care and good night.
Be strong. Be strong.